For 16 years, England could not beat Australia. Then came a summer that stopped a nation. You will relive the 4 tests that turned cricket into theater and the 2 runs at Edgbaston that nearly broke every heart watching. What happened at minute 7 will haunt you. The summer of 2005 did not begin like a legend. It began like a funeral procession. For 16 relentless years, England had not held the Ashes urn. 8 consecutive series lost. Generations of English cricketers had come and gone, humiliated by the greatest Australian side ever assembled. Glenn McGrath, Shane Warne, Ricky Ponting, Adam Gilchrist, Matthew Hayden, a team so dominant that bookmakers refused to offer meaningful odds. Australia arrived that July as 3-time defending champions, unbeaten in a test series for nearly 7 years. And in the opening match at Lord's, they did what they always did. They crushed England by 239 runs inside 4 days. McGrath took 9 wickets. The old story, told again. Then came Edgbaston, and cricket changed forever. On the morning of the second test, Glenn McGrath stepped on a stray ball during warm-ups and tore ligaments in his ankle. Ricky Ponting won the toss and, in a decision debated to this day, chose to bowl. England, freed from McGrath's shadow, unleashed something the world had never seen from them: fearlessness. Marcus Trescothick smashed 90. Kevin Peterson, playing only his second test, brought a rock star's swagger to a gentleman's game. By the end of day 1, England had 407 runs on the board. Andrew Flintoff, the burly all-rounder from Preston, was about to become a mythological figure, but the match tightened like a noose. Australia fought back through Justin Langer and Ponting. England's lead shrank. By the 4th morning, Australia needed just 107 runs to win with 2 wickets in hand. The pubs of Birmingham fell silent. Shane Warne, batting like a man possessed, added run after run with Brett Lee. Then Michael Kasprowicz joined Lee at the crease. 15 runs needed. 10, then 3, then 2. Steve Harmison bowled a lifter. Kasprowicz gloved it. Wicketkeeper Geraint Jones dived forward and clutched the ball inches from the turf. England won by 2 runs. 2. The narrowest margin in Ashes history. And the photograph that circled the world was not of celebration, but of Andrew Flintoff kneeling beside a devastated Brett Lee, consoling his defeated opponent. In that single image, sport transcended itself. Old Trafford followed, and somehow it grew even more impossible. Ricky Ponting batted for nearly 7 hours to save the test, scoring 156 as Australia clung to a draw with 1 wicket standing. Then Trent Bridge, where England won by 3 wickets in a chase so nerve-shredding that Michael Vaughan later admitted he could not watch the final overs. Ashley Giles, a bowler batting at number 9, struck the winning runs. Grown men wept in the stands. By the time the series reached the Oval in September, England led 2-1. 1 draw would end the 16-year drought. But Australia, wounded and dangerous, were not finished. Shane Warne, playing what he called the finest cricket of his life, took a wicket seemingly every time he was thrown the ball. He finished the series with 40 scalps, a superhuman number, and yet he still ended on the losing side. That contradiction defines 2005 more than any statistic. On the final day at the Oval, the entire nation stopped. Schools abandoned lessons, offices emptied, traffic thinned across London, and at the crease stood Kevin Peterson, hair streaked blonde, earring glinting, playing perhaps the most audacious innings in Ashes memory. He hooked Brett Lee, then bowling at 96 miles per hour, for 6. He counterattacked Warne. He made 158 in a match his team only needed to draw. When bad light finally ended play and the umpires lifted the bails, England had done it. The Ashes were coming home. What followed was a coronation Britain had not seen in decades. An open-top bus paraded through central London. 200,000 people flooded Trafalgar Square. Andrew Flintoff, gloriously, admittedly drunk, met the Prime Minister at Downing Street. Cricket, for one shining moment, was the biggest sport in the country. Membership at local clubs surged. Children who had never held a bat suddenly wanted to bowl like Simon Jones, bat like Peterson, sledge like Warne. But why does 2005 endure? Why, 20 years on, do commentators still call it the greatest series ever played? The numbers explain part of it. 3 of the 5 tests were decided by margins of 2 runs, 3 wickets, and a 2-wicket Australian escape. No Ashes series before or since has produced such consistent knife-edge drama. Yet the deeper answer lies in what it represented. Two evenly matched sides at the peak of their powers, playing every session as if their lives depended on it, with an old-world sportsmanship that felt almost anachronistic. Flintoff consoling Lee, Warren applauding Peterson, handshakes that meant something. There are footnotes, of course. Glenn McGrath always insisted Australia would have won 3-0 had he stayed fit. Shane Warne, before his tragic death in 2022, called it the series he was most proud of despite losing. Ricky Ponting has spoken openly about how the defeat reshaped him as a captain. And in England, an entire generation of cricketers, from Joe Root to Ben Stokes, has cited that summer as the reason they picked up the game. The urn itself, that tiny terracotta trophy no larger than a coffee mug, was paraded through England like the Holy Grail. But the true prize was intangible. For 6 weeks in the summer of 2005, cricket delivered something sport rarely does. A story so perfectly constructed, so relentlessly dramatic, so morally rich, that it seemed written by a novelist rather than played by athletes. And in the end, that is why we still speak of it. Not because England won, because both teams together produced something neither could have produced alone. If this story moved you the way it moved a nation, subscribe to Cricket Chronicles. Every week we unearth the matches, the rivalries, and the scandals that shaped the greatest game ever played. Hit the bell. The next legend is already waiting.